subway station, that shit is glistening, and it stays glistening. But they don't have a million people getting off at that stop either. Let's see what that shit looks like at 42nd Street and Penn Station on the A train. Coming from Far Rockaway all the way through Harlem.
I'm giving it a week. I'm telling you.
Stop.
A month is being generous.
Stop.
When those tourists come back, game over. When those tourists come back, that's when it's going to be dirty.
Well, it depends. The tourists are going to be wearing masks also. Everybody's still supposed to be masked. Ain't nobody said you don't walk around unmasked. Did you see the one with the mask with the person made that he can drink and eat out of it, like it flaps up? He has it attached to his knife when he's eating.
That's cute.
And so it's so cute. White guy, old white man, right? And he pulls, whenever he pulls the knife, the lid comes up. So even if he's not using the knife, just, when he moves it, he can get his soda, move his knife. It's so and the string, you can hardly see it. So it looks like it's magical, but actually it's the string is attached to his knife. I think that was so
clever.
Clever. And that someone has to do that. Someone has to do that.
You ever seen the trains and the buses in Boston?
No.
You can eat off of the floors. God damn it! It's so clean. I swear.
I heard in Toronto it's gorgeous clean.
But there's moments like that where I realize like Boston's got the reason to hate on us. Because you stay in Boston for a little while, you can see why.
Because we're messy and they not.
Like,
there's less of us. There's less of them.
They also don't drink when we drink usually. We stay out drinking. They have limits on when they drink. Like, there's...
But I heard there's a lot of bars in Boston.
Yeah, there are.
Because there's Irish people.
And they're all usually in the same spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like us where bars are spread out.
Yeah, they have like a...
they have like a whole bar
section.
They have a market for bars.
Yeah. There's a hotels and bar section. Restaurants, hotel, and bar section. They're all there.
Kind of like how the French Quarters is.
So it's not like in your neighborhood.
Right. It's just like how the French Quarters is for New Orleans.
Yeah, a section. Like
yeah, just all for drinking and such, and that's what they have. So if you can't, at least in my experience, being in Boston, if you want to get it like beer or whatever, you really aren't gonna find it in 7-Eleven.
No.
Right.
They don't sell it in the stores. So how you get beer?
You gotta go to
the bar.
You gotta go to a bar. Yes, you got to go to an actual liquor store.
Oh, that liquor store.
Yeah, but even those close early too.
What?
Yeah.
Even without Corona, they always close early.
That I don't know. But when I was there, like when we tried looking for beer in 7-Eleven, nah.
Well, our 7-Elevens don't carry beer.
Yes, they do.
Oh, 7-Elevens, right? Not the Wegmans.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
7-Elevens don't carry beer.
Right.
Oh, their refrigerators must be pretty sparse. That's deep. Wow. Like the first time I went to Rhode Island, that's the first time I saw them having beer in like a regular store. Like in a CVS, like a Dwayne Reed. I was like, what?
And they have that over in the Walgreens in Uniondale. They sell Heinekens right there for people just to take, stacked up in the middle of the lobby.
At Walgreens?
At the Walgreens, that's on Front Street.
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah. First time it opened, at least when I was in there, they were selling alcohol. But beer, not
Maybe it was a way to draw people in.
Of course. And then so who knows? Probably somebody came around later and told them, hey, you can't do it anymore, and they probably stopped.
Yeah, I would think.
But it brought people.
I'm sure it did. And that's bad because it's a black and a Spanish.
Like, what are you gonna do? Shut down a whole Walgreens because they sold one case of alcohol? No.
No, it's new ones. So you say no, we don't do. It could have been just a welcome. Maybe it's
it's a welcome.
Day. Never know. But if we go to the other Walgreens and we start to see beer in there, then that's a different thing.
It would be great if like the beer was like next to like the Tums like aisle or whatever. And it was like, you're gonna need this after.
What would it take? And put on the.
Hey, welcome back to the AntiFa South Show.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's how I want to say that on this. I might just say 1 to the 2 to 3 to 4. Them dirty red dogs done kicked the door and they got everybody on their hands and knees, and they ain't gonna won't stop until they find them kings. So we in here today with my nigga Big Gipp.
Oh, gee! How y'all doing?
And it's so fitting right now, Gipp, because man, you straight up out the Goody Mob, and y'all been talking about the Matrix for years. The revolution will not be televised, and we looking right at it, right on TV.
We're looking at it and we living it.
Man, did you ever think you would see some of the shit that you like? Let me run through some shit that happened this week.
Okay.
First of all, NASCAR banned the Confederate flag.
That's right.
And they got a Black Lives Matter. Now, that's the most preposterous shit I never would have thought of that would have came out of the protest.
NASCAR. Niggas ain't even driving on NASCAR.
Oh, they got one.
They got a few.
They got one. Hold on, what's his name? Somebody give me a name. What's his
He ain't
name?
winning shit.
No.
What's his
So
name?
he probably high hell. Like, that
His
nigga
name,
ain't
what? Bubba Wallace.
Yes.
He ain't going fast in no 250 miles.
This one thing I know about NASCAR. Everybody named Bubba, pretty damn good.
They're pretty good.
Pretty
One thing about Bubba, he's pretty darn good at doing that.
And one goddamn thing Bubba can do is let's drive a goddamn car. He make that son of a bitch shit and get it.
Well, ain't nobody got no fresher trans than you in the city.
Talk to him. Tell him again.
I'm talking about, man,
Tell him
right
again.
here, man. Ain't nobody got no white with the red fire on the hood.
Come fanatic.
Where you getting it, man?
Talk your shit.
I've been wanting that smoke in the bandit. I can't find one.
Ooh, you found it though.
I was up late night digging and I found it and I had to purchase it and
He's talking about I had to
I
purchase. You
had
had
to
to
make the
purchase.
purchase and I had to bring it back to where it's supposed to be.
Well, I'm
Man.
gonna tell you, I've only seen one. They wanted $100,000 for it, so you must have got a great deal.
I got a spectacular deal.
Whoa.
If you shit, I gotta put mine on the market if they get like that.
Yeah, you put shot on that motherfucker.
Hey, that motherfucker don't need no tires. It's sitting on some nice Forgiatos. If anybody at Forgiato who watches this show, woo, send me some. Some valve stems or something, cause nigga.
Somebody just buy my ass though, man.
Hey man, we still gotta get that van sold, bro. It's been a wild week. Drew Brees had to apologize.
Yeah.
Bill.
I know there's not much that I can say that would make things any better right now, but I just want you to see in my eyes how sorry I am for the comments that I made yesterday. I know that it hurt many people, especially friends, teammates, former teammates, loved ones, people that I care and respect deeply. That was never my intention. I wish I would have laid out what was on my heart in regards to the George Floyd murder, Ahmaud Arbery, the years and years of social injustice, police brutality, and the need for so much reform and change in regards to legislation and so many other things to bring equality to our black communities. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think he was gonna have to, cause he down in New Orleans. I don't think it was gonna be a good
Ain't
year
not
for
my
him.
niggas. Niggas soon
Yeah.
he came out that motherfucking hole. They was ran back in.
Yeah.
That nigga be like, now today put the sex stream in. Them niggas out there crazy. Them niggas on the floor like, who that? Put that bitch ass on, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pop you, you hear me? You hear me?
But after all this time, what he jump out there and say this shit now for?
What you gotta understand, bro, instinctively, it's natural.
That's why I ain't have no reaction. He didn't do nothing but get caught being a white man.
It was just natural. He was like, how you feel about the root? Like,
He got
shit,
caught
I
being a
tell
white
you one goddamn thing I felt about
That's
it. Like,
right.
Drew, you tripping. He was like, shit. Nigga apologized 8 times. Look, man.
I knew it was there when me
I
and
fucked
X
up.
did.
BS, she did.
Yeah, his instincts kicked in.
Drew fucked up that shit.
Yeah, you remember his good old cool
He was
practice.
like, fuck you, Drew. He was like, I fucked up.
That nigga apologized 7
My
times.
nigga apologized 7 times.
I know he was sorry because he sent a tweet to his boy. He was like, Trump, we gotta look into this shit, bro.
Yeah, they made it bad for him.
Yeah.
Man, everything, the world falls
It
apart.
ain't, because everybody keep thinking when we kneel during national anthem, they always say about the people fighting
Let
in
me
the war.
see that light.
We fought in the war. Ain't
We fought
nobody
in the war.
disrespecting the flag. We
Yeah.
talking about injustice.
We were talking about the police.
That's all it is. Motherfucker keep trying to result in the war, and y'all trying to oversee what's really going on. So we know how you feel then.
Yeah.
We ain't no apology, but we know how you feel.
Yeah,
And I don't even play with you no more on Madden.
Hey, you took it that
I
far?
used to want nigga add with Drew. Yeah, I'm a Falcon nigga. I'm going with. I'm like, I gotta go get Drew. Drew go crazy. Yeah, like Drew really go crazy. But now I'm like, fuck Drew.
Yeah.
I fuck with you, but you know, shit, I ain't finna get your stats up.
A lot of motherfuckers been getting caught saying the wrong shit around this time.
Who? Don't call him out. Come on,
when y'all
Gipp.
playing those games?
If they're on,
You know,
sometimes
some
it
people
happens,
getting
yeah.
caught speaking out of turn.
Really?
I think that's the best way.
Yeah, if they're
I
on.
think that what it is.
And they
It's-
identify
it's-
themselves?
As soon as they hit
If they want to.
They're repeating it and
And
they
you've
not
had that happen?
researching.
You
They
played
repeat
Me?
it,
No.
so
Celebrities? But you know
instead of
people who
them
have?
having
No,
empathy.
no.
Oh,
That's
but
right.
you
You feel what
could.
I'm saying?
I could.
They come
I've-
really strong. Like
I've-
true
I
colors. They
mean,
just like,
There
if you
are
was to
some
ask
times
somebody
where
about,
like
you know what I'm
band
saying?
members,
You be like, before you just shut a nigga
you know,
down.
will be like, hey, I'm gonna be playing, you know, in this multiplayer game. Come hang out. Here's my party. Here's my gamer tag. Come join.
You got to show that
Things
you
like that
understand
will happen
first
usually.
before you be like,
If you want to
Oh,
know.
you meet them.
Yeah, it's like a cyber meet and greet.
Blah, blah,
It's like a cyber meet and greet.
What else going on, Carlos?
Hey man, I know you heard about the voting machine
Yeah.
fiasco.
Yeah, the vote machine. Well, in my neighborhood, man, Mama said she went down to.
Turn this back. They talking about voting.
It took me 2 hours.
what happened?
Hey man,
Instead of them having empathy.
that's
You
right.
feel what I'm saying? They come, they really strong like they true colors. They just like, they hit. I gotta go get Drew. Drew go crazy. Yeah, like Drew really go crazy. But now I'm like, fuck Drew.
Yeah.
I fuck with you, but you know, shit, I ain't gonna get your stats up.
A lot of motherfuckers been getting caught saying the wrong shit around this time.
Who? Who called him out? Who? Who else? Who said some fuck shit? Come on, Gipp.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
You know, those people getting caught speaking out of turn. Yeah, I think that's the best way to
I
put it.
think that's what it is. It's as soon as they hear something,
They're repeating it and they not researching
they
what the fuck.
repeat it, but instead of them having empathy.
That's
You
right.
feel what I'm saying? They come, they really strong like they true colors. They just like, if you were to ask somebody about, you know what I'm saying? You be like, before you just shut a nigga down, you know what I mean? Fuck that nigga, I don't do it. You like, nah, shot really cool, you know what I'm saying? You really can, you give them the benefit of the doubt, then you give your opinion.
That's right.
You got to show that you understand first before you be like, blocking that nigga be like, well, you really don't understand then.
You don't understand at all.
You see what I'm saying?
You don't understand at all. What else going on, Carlos?
Hey man, I know you heard about the voting machine fiasco.
Yeah, the vote machine. What?
He had no idea. Dumbass.
It took me 2 hours.
He living in Atlanta. How the fuck? He's sitting there like he had not even heard about it.
No,
I said, close. I said,
I
y'all
had to go in
Face.
there.
It was I know.
He
I
busy
love
rolling
it, you
his
know,
joint.
But
I'm like, what?
I think
That
the
was
world
mind
can
blown
see-
for-
the
personified.
world can see
That-
right now
that-
they playing
yeah,
games
he
with
gave
the vote
himself up.
machine.
Right.
I mean, that's one thing that technology is doing right now.
He was doing
It's
research. He
exposing
didn't do
everybody
research.
who they is.
Research.
Yeah, he researched his way
Yeah.
past.
You know, that's the
June
great thing about
9th.
technology.
Past current
At the
events.
Right.
same time, too, I just think that it's,
He's living in the past too
Past
much.
election
it's
day.
something that's taught to these kids when they're young.
Dumbass. Somebody gonna have to take
Like I
him to the
saw a
polls
video,
on election day for
And
real.
white
You
man
have
went
to
to
go
a
to the
lady
polls.
door. She
Or at
said-
least stand in the
he
house and make
said,
sure he
"Man,
fills out
you
his
take that
ballot.
shit
He's a
up in the car,
dumbass.
man."
Yeah, I wonder if they
She
got
said, "What you
them
talking
in the mail.
about?" She walked outside. Look, she said,
Well, that's
"Remember
what
the
they're
Black
working
Lives Matter sign?" He said, "Yeah, I'm a Jew, and that's offensive." And I was like, "Damn, a Jew? I thought y'all
A Jewish person got offended at a Black Lives Matter.
chamber too. I thought y'all be on our team." But it lets you know also that some people, they teach racism in a way of you're better than everything else because of the color of your skin.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you got other white people out here saying Black Lives Matter, it's angering other white people because it's like, shh, you fucking up what we teaching in our house.
Right, they teach him man. They
So-
teach a man rule over one man. That's what they teach.
So outside in the world, we cool with everybody, but inside our house, we teaching our kids that we the best and everything else under us.
Of course.
But now when the child can look on TV and see another white person holding a sign saying Black Lives Matter, it makes the parents look like, well, damn, what y'all on? Right? You know what I mean? And then these kids right now, you gotta look, racism can't be like it was 20, 30 years ago, simply because these kids that came up in a very technology world, so the way white kids learn how to dance, they look at black kids on the internet.
Right.
The way white kids learn how to dress, they look at black kids on the internet. So most white kids that I know of, they really love LeBron James. They love Kobe. You know what I mean? So that's the difference, I think, between their generation and these kids now, is that these kids have really came up in a culture where black culture is really the dominant. Because when I was a kid, hell, it was rock and roll on the radio and on TV. But most of these kids that grew up, it's been rap.
The whole
time, the whole time.
Like, so you saying like the new generation of the white people, like you say, they had to be taught, so they don't really understand what they were saying. So now they see another perception of what we are. They like, so what? Hold up, because I called that y'all beneath us. If that's not true,
Right.
then I can't have hate in my heart because I was taught to hate y'all.
And most of these kids that grew up being cool with everything. Like, my little girl walking in the room, she gonna have a little gay boyfriend, a little gay girlfriend, and everything. It's gonna be like a smoothie board. And they all cool. And they all cool with each other and don't have no problem with each other. That's the new generation of, we fuck with each other. Y'all don't fuck with each other.
Right.
So that's the disconnect between the younger generation and the older generation. And me personally, being that I was married to an artist like Joy, I've always been involved with both communities. Just because of her music.
Right.
And that's how we raised Keep Silent. Like, nobody's different. You know, whatever people do in the bedroom, that's their business. You know what I mean? But a person being a good person and being a good person in your life is somebody that you should learn from, man, that ain't got nothing to do with sexuality. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, the strongest people to me are gonna be people from different places because they're gonna understand the struggle and they're gonna understand being discriminated against.
Exactly.
So I feel like right now, black people, man, everything that ain't need to be your friend. That's it. You know what I mean? Because it's just gonna put more power on our side and more people on our side that's gonna fight for our side. Ain't no use of being, you know, against nobody at this point because really this ain't got nothing to do with where the world going. See, when you have a person like Bill Gates right here talking about he about to put everybody needs to be microchipped, but we don't, my family don't, that ought to tell you something. He want to control the world. But what does a man that comes from the tech world got anything to do with the medical world? That should scare you off top. So you gotta understand where we are in time right now. People are trying to figure out how they're gonna run the world, and at the same time, take the world from the old guard. That's why I feel like right now the whole thing with this virus and everything. Yes, it's out here. My daughter called me like I think about November. I was in LA and she was like, "Dad, I'm sick. I'm at the hospital. I don't know what's wrong with me." And then I'm like, "Damn." And then after it was over with, she called. She said, "Dad, I think I had that covert. I think that's what it was because they didn't know how to treat me. They ain't had nothing for me." Now her being young, I think she was able to fight it off. But it's been out here. We were late almost 6-8 months.
Yes.
So right now, us walking around with masks on and shit, let me tell you something, man. All I do is mess with doctors. And they tell me like this, man, if something airborne, ain't no piece of paper, ain't no cloth, ain't nothing over your face, don't stop that from infecting you.
Right.
So, look at this. Since the pandemic, now I'm seeing 1995, get your goddamn your Suave mask.
They got masks all the time. They got hand sanitizer. We couldn't find it.
So when you look at it, you say, in the pandemic, only 10 people made money, and all of them were friends with Bill Gates.
Of course.
So there it is again, man. This ain't got nothing to do with money.
Can I put you up on the shit that I just figured out? You know there was a Black Wall Street before OKC Tulsa. Shit figured it out. Shit, bro, this shit free. I'm see the link. Wilmington, North Carolina.
Wilmington, North Carolina.
You want to say, and we had black officials. Like, and niggas you want to know, we wasn't Democrats either.
We were
We
Republicans.
was Republicans. Now, Democrats were the rich white people who made money off the working people. Now, you had the other part of the white people who wasn't Democrats or Republicans, they was called the Diffusion Party. Now, the Diffusion Party would team up with the Republicans because they was working people. We come from working, that's all we know. The work build from the ground up.
Correct.
We never had shit. So we build from the ground up. So white people who ain't never had shit, who were workers, who was just like us, who understood what work is meant, they were like, shit, y'all playing is only to y'all playing, how y'all playing, of course it's for y'all, but the way y'all playing the structure is you build for working people and you want folk. So we build with y'all, like, we need allies, hey, yeah, come fuck with us. Now the Diffusion Party would team up with the Republicans. Now you got the working white middle class. That's what the middle class was. It wasn't the class. It was the fusion party. The working white middle class teaming up with black Republicans. Now we got a working city, Wilmington, North Carolina. Now, they won. Going crazy. Now, this is what the Democrats did. These niggas so crazy. 1898, it was in the Democrat handbook. They wanted, they got it. Since we won, they see shit going on, they hated to see white people on it. They couldn't stand it. So, in the Democrat handbook, they wrote, white is for white only, and white is supposed to rule the country. So, they came up with a plan to bring the diffusion party over to the Democrats and show them damn near really how to hate the Republicans. You dig what I'm saying? And flip the script, and by the press, they started beefs with Republicans and putting all that propaganda shit out there. And started all that, and before you know it was hate, and before you know it, the Democrats got back in, and we had nothing.
Yep.
Hold it.
Sounds like a typical story of the white man.
Stop. That part of it may be true. After the Civil War, the Republicans, President Lincoln was a Republican. So when there was emancipation, of course, they were going. The slaves, the ex-slaves, were going to become Republicans once they were allowed to vote in honor of this. He's dead even, you know. They killed him like 5 weeks after he got reelected or something. Or after the end of the Civil War. So anyway, President Lincoln was a god anyway, to them. And he still is, you know, in this iconic, you know, sense of presidents that we've had. He's like number one, right? He's number one even though Washington is number one. Moving on. At some point, when we were talking about this. President Lincoln died. The next president, I think, was Johnson, took over. He tried to start the reparations, and then he got talked out of it by the Democrats, I guess, at the time. And they went back to the nonsense, right? And instead of giving us the reparation, the 40 acres and mules we were promised, all the other stuff, they turned it around and made it sharecropping, which still benefited them and did never really benefit the black man, right? But when President Johnson, right, back, go up to the 60s, that's a long time, yes. But when Johnson started signed the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, those people ran out of the Democratic Party and ran to the Republican Party because Lyndon Johnson was a Democrat. Right? So they hated what he did. So they ran to the Republican Party, and the Republican Party ran to the Democratic Party. So it's just a name thing, but they switched sides. And that happened in the 60s after the Civil Rights Movement. So the Democrats, yes, they have dirt on their name, but there's dirt on the Republicans that we can see right now. And they have not done anything differently since Nixon got in. Ever since President Kennedy got murdered. And he was a Democrat. Then Johnson took over, and then he signed the Civil Rights Bill. Because again, when President Kennedy died, the country was in PTSD. Because that shit happened on live television. We saw them blow that man's head off. So then the thing with, civil rights and all of that, President Kennedy was going to do that, so President Johnson, even though that might not have been his first instinct, because again, he's a Southern Texas, man. And he's, they have tapes of him. He's not, politically correct, but neither is Nixon. And they lost their minds and they switched parties. But it's the same group of people who have now just become Republicans. They try to, and this is part of their genius because they know that this is going to come back around. You know what I'm saying? They're long range geniuses. They are. You got to give it to them. They stay on a platform and they keep their eyes on it, and whatever they have to use for domination, because they believe that they're better than everyone else. Like you said, that was part of their handbook. But they are not the Democrats today. Those people are dead twice. You know, them and their grandchildren. There's a whole new group of people now who are Democrats, who fought for civil rights and women's rights and LGBTQ rights and everything else. So we need to stop throwing shade on the Democrats today. That's good history to know, but it has nothing to do with today. Turn it back on, I'm sorry.
All that Democrat shit had me thinking like, man, I ain't fucking with that Democrat shit.
Speaking of which, man, it has been protests in all 50 states in 18 countries.
That's beautiful.
I think that was beautiful because I'm telling you what really shocked me was
to change them to the Republican Party with this bullshit.
I think Minnesota shot the shit out of
everybody. Letting them all out of
everybody.
jail and giving them back their voting
So
rights.
Minnesota jumped that shit off
because they're going
immediately.
to become Republicans for that same
I just think
propaganda
it's
that
just
they're
we in a
putting
place
out.
now
I'm
that
telling you.
everybody need everybody.
Why the
And
fuck
it's a
do
lot of
Republicans
people
want to
who
put
don't
black men in the streets?
Hold on, bro. And
Get
guess
some
who
black
they are?
Because they sick of black women voting for Democrats.
Direct Nick.
Alright,
The fucking cat, y'all nigga broke nigga bitch.
broke
They
ass.
keep using y'all dumb ass nigga. Y'all ain't woke up yet. They done taught y'all hate and using y'all. They ain't even fucking with why y'all got EBT.
Alright, y'all some broke boys.
Why? Alright then.
Hey, I hate to be this motherfucker, but I have to be. You know, somebody got to mediate and ask the question to keep the conversation going. And it's like, now seeing how the impact that all of this has had, were the riots and looting necessary?
No. I mean, but you cannot not expect it because of the situation we've been in for what, the last 3 months.
Right.
Everybody fucked up, man. And most people I know that was in California didn't get no stimulus check or nothing.
I feel that's what I'm saying. I feel like that shit was gonna happen whether it was a protest or not. You can't just keep dangling money in front of poor people.
Speaking, coming from a militant mind, it was, yeah.
I think that's why I agree.
Because
I think the shit was necessary as a
it was
motherfucker because without that shit,
it was necessary.
nothing would have happened.
But when it comes to shit like that, you gotta be a tactician.
Yeah, you do.
And I feel like this. Keep that shit out of Atlanta.
That too, but
You can't
when
like
it comes to shit like that, it gotta be strategic when they say, okay, if you're gonna do that, it has to be necessary and it has to be a plan. You gotta know who you're looting.
that's right.
Where you're riding, does it make sense? Are you affecting their dollar because you know for a fact this where they at?
Right.
Be in the community. All of a sudden, who say protest down here? They're leading y'all where y'all know y'all gonna ride it. You feel me? We gotta have an organization where it's like, no, niggas don't even know where we're gonna do that. Cause we didn't know when y'all was coming to loot.
Yeah.
Niggas was coming
See,
just
that's my
driving shit and nigga women like,
That's my criticism. That's my criticism.
No, that's how we had to do. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no, don't do that shit on social media, no none of that. Go somewhere else where it's straight they shit. Now no black men on them where they gonna understand
Right.
where it's gonna hurt them in their pocket. Like they did us.
But when I looked at the Lulu and I saw them over there in Lennox, I was like, man, they can't be from Atlanta.
Without
They
fire
can't be
and
from Atlanta fucking with them.
blowing
But
up
we were
stuff.
infiltrated.
Yeah.
The way the shit went on, that wasn't even that.
Don't buy nothing.
Y'all seen them white folk doing all that BL and shit? That wasn't it.
It wasn't us.
You feel me?
You know, I understood that, but at the same time, it was like, man, we got to be smarter than this. Like, what is looting gonna get us?
That was my criticism though, because it's like now it made it
Free
look
shit.
like that shit ain't the looting and the protests ain't have shit to do with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the fucked up part. Is
The
like
infiltrators started the looting.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They started that shit early. And the police are standing there. Stop it. Oh, FTP, that's supposed to be what? Fuck the police?
Yep.
Oh my goodness, and the police are standing in there helping her. Where was this? Is that Louisiana? No,
Well, see, most of these kids now that what I've learned is Afra, whatever that little situation. Antifa. That's where I'm from.
These motherfuckers.
What I've learned is most of them kids are atheists.
Yeah, that's who they are.
They atheists. They don't believe in
They don't believe
God.
in shit.
So they don't have no
They
moral
lost.
code
Nigga
about
lost.
They trying to get it.
Don't get hit by a car.
Yeah.
They so fucking lost. Hey, what's up here? You know, lost soul anyway. Get the fuck on up out of here.
I think they really do want this world to be in a purge state. But I'm like, when you think about it, like when you hear these people saying defund the police, I'm like, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
That's some bull. You don't want to live without
I don't know if I want to defund the
Not no
police.
third world country.
Hell
Yeah,
no.
like-
Somebody got to put these niggas in check.
Because there's some motherfuckers who ain't supposed to be out here with us. I'm telling you.
I just walked down to the truck and just heard a whole shootout. That was just 5 minutes ago.
A bunch of gunshots.
A bunch of gunshots.
Exactly.
Well, only thing they're gonna do is just keep order. What I'm saying is fuck whoever got the badge. It's just we need order. It's just structure. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have no morals no more. Like we ain't like the basic foundation of living. Niggas have lost that.
I think
You feel me? Like, you know not to disrespect a nigga mama or grandma. Like, it's basic. Niggas don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They'll tackle your grandma.
Hey man, this
like,
way.
God damn, right?
That's what I'm saying. But this way I feel like shit got fucked up though. A couple years ago, when that dude went in Dallas and killed all them police officers and they sent a fucking bomb in there and blew him up.
Back now from Dallas, where police ended the deadly siege in the city last night by using a robot with a bomb to kill the ambush suspect. It's a tactic straight from America's wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. As NBC's Tom Costello reports, it appears to be the first time police have ever used a robot bomb on U.S. soil.
I knew shit was never gonna be the same between people and they sent a motherfucking bomb in the building and blew this motherfucker up and was like, well, and it happened all night and we watched this shit and then they was just like, all right.
It's over.
Like we watched a live fucking movie. Yeah, go back and watch that footage.
You talking about the nigga who was shooting it out?
The nigga,
that one.
Allegedly.
That nigga
Allegedly.
I don't know.
That was John Wick.
He was an officer too,
That
wasn't he?
was crazy.
But all I'm saying is I'm not trying to
They sent a
deflect
bomb
anything
in
like
to
that.
kill
It's just like, look how much shit we done seen that was way worse
Because
than
he had
some
a lot of
fucking
ammunition,
stealing
though.
and
Like, he
looting
was
or
like in
burning
an
down
army
some
or
shit. We
something.
watched a motherfucker in Las Vegas shoot 500 people on CNN.
At a concert, at white people.
But
I'm talking about white man shoot white people. He got tired of y'all niggas.
What was the All Lives Matter crowd then?
Y'all niggas ain't even protest for your own people. You don't even give a fuck. That's fucked up.
But that was
That nigga was in a
country
hotel.
music show.
Exactly.
He didn't give a fuck who was at the show. He was working.
That nigga shot the bus driver,
That
everybody.
nigga, I'm talking about a nigga paid for a hotel. Perfect window view. He said, I can't wait till this bitch get packed. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, we don't even think of no shit like that. Like, you gonna shoot up at a concert? I can't wait for this future concert to get lit. Nigga, what? Nigga gonna
You're
be on
not
some
gonna do
hoes.
that at no future concert, cause you gonna fuck around and forget, cause you gonna have hit after hit.
You dig what I'm
By the time
saying?
that nigga get to March Madness, you ain't even mad no more.
That is
Motherfucker, what? Shit, I'm gonna let these niggas make it tonight.
But no, but see, that be the thing though, bro. Like,
Black music.
oh shit. But that be the thing though, see, man, we just gotta understand what time we living in, bro. And we got to adjust, but still be having a plan for this type of shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, even when it go back to the women's and things, like, we had plans. That's history they don't tell us. Because history is motivation.
Here we go.
How you gonna go somewhere if you don't know where you came from? You see what I'm saying? So when we still are living off this perception that somebody else has put on us, and we still trying to tell these niggas, we ain't like that. Y'all gotta stop, man. That's every day. Man, y'all gotta stop. It's every day. Please. We still, nigga, I'm watching old ass seminars, and I'm like, my nigga, it's 2020.
Exactly.
We saying the same
shit.
Why they ain't getting it? They don't want to get
You
it.
know what?
Like, bro, I'm
I
watching
get
nigga from
mad.
1930. In 2020, we saying, if a
100
nigga
years
stole
later.
from you last week, he gonna steal from you next week. Bro, I don't got to know from years like, bro, nigga stole from 1965, man. I thought he was straight.
Shit,
He a thief.
1965.
We should have got out this pandemic is that we gotta learn how to garden. We gotta learn how to garden, man. We've lost that. Like when I grew up, my grandma kept a garden. I stayed in the garden with my grandma. You know what I mean? I think right now we should have learned out of the pandemic. If we ain't got no generator for our house, we crazy. They can cut the power at any time. You should go and get you a generator.
I'm gonna buy me a generator.
Another thing is, you got to go get freezers and refrigerators, deep freezers, so you can store your food.
Yes.
See, it's so many things that we can do to prepare ourselves for another one of these curfew or whatever they call this shit, this quarantine, that we got to understand that it's going to get worse and worse if they keep doing it.
That's phase one.
We have to learn how to first feed ourselves. We all should have chickens in our yard. And you should always know how to get. And for the rich niggas, man, go buy your
And if
cow.
you don't,
man,
the
just let
neighbor's
somebody
chickens will
keep it.
come
They
in
ain't
your
take
yard.
shit in case something go wrong.
Man, that's some ball ass shit
Oh,
you
some
just
shit,
said.
nigga, cause I've been looking for a chicken coop, nigga.
That what mama want, man. I got.
I swear, nigga, you boy.
Yeah,
Hey,
get you some
selling
chicken.
birds got a whole nother meaning when you got them chickens.
That's right.
For real, them chickens is nigga, that's money every time they drop something.
Yeah.
What?
So I mean, I just think we gotta learn how to survive without the system. I think we so dependent on the system that, man, we forgot all about the things that our older folks taught us as kids. And I think we gotta re-implement that, especially to these kids. Now, you know, most girls can't even cook, man.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you want to tell me how bad you can't even cook me no egg, man.
Yeah, I only want some eggs.
Can't cook me no
Hey,
eggs.
I can't cook no eggs, man.
Hey, let me ask y'all.
Yeah, you used to be
Ask you
pouring
about this.
water,
This was
now
trending
she
on
can't
Twitter
cook
the
that
other day.
egg.
Terry Crews said some shit about
Who can't cook
black
the egg?
supremacy. I
I'm
don't
sick of
even. I'm
this
like,
strong
I'm
ass.
so sick of this soft ass nigga, man.
Strong soft ass.
I knew he was a bitch
Nigga,
when he blocked me on Twitter. He blocked me because I
He blocked
told him.
you.
I said, nigga, I'm 5'8", and ain't gonna let nobody grab my dick in front of my I'm not, nigga, I ain't nobody never tried me like that. You don't get in there, your big strong ass.
Hold on.
Man, fuck you, pussy ass nigga.
Yes, Terry Crews. I was waiting to find out how the men was going to do him. Because he was part of the Me Too at the end, right? He popped up and said that somebody touched him in front of his wife and shit. What? Why is that person still walking?
Exactly.
We should have heard about that night, bro.
Exactly.
But I understand. You know, he's an actor, and you know, somebody could sue you, and you know now you're up in court and shit like that. But you should have fronted on him on Good Morning America the next day, on Monday morning after the party. Or somewhere all these years along the line, you should have said, listen, just shout him out or something. You know, me and you still got beef, man. Or don't be in my presence. I got something for you. Something. You said nothing. Now the women all get up and say, me too. Here you go. It's not that it didn't happen. It's not that it didn't happen. It happened, I'm sure. And I'm sure he was stunned. Right? But, bro, it's been a minute. And the brothers ain't gonna look at you like they gonna look at the women who, okay, you know, we understand you were ashamed or you didn't know what to do. Nigga, excuse me, this happened when you was already a star. Didn't happen when you were a little boy. You had a voice, you had a television show every week. And you didn't tell nobody? They either gonna not believe you or they gonna clown you for being a punk. You hide behind women's skirts, basically is what they're gonna say.
He's too big to be hiding.
And he's too big to be hiding behind women's skirts. He's a big man. That's how he got to be where he is, from being a big guy, a tough guy. That's the persona we know of him.
So again, it goes back to how the hell was that man still walking after
Right.
it happened?
Right. You didn't even say you hit him or pushed him or nothing.
You went, oh.
You were startled? We're startled too for you. We are. Because you got taken off guard. We know what that is. We are, survivors know about that. And the things that you wish you could have done, you didn't do. When somebody violates, you do. Like I wanted to pick up
He
a
still
chair
would
and
have been.
slap that man in the head.
He still would have been in the right. That's the thing.
But he would have been in the right up until the day he became part of Me Too. He could have went to that guy's house, knocked on the door. When he answered the door, punch him in his face. Boom, we're good.
Oh
Now tell your story. This, you know what I'm saying? If that all happened, you should at least given us the end of the story. Was I ran into him, blah blah blah, or I had my agent contact his lawyers, blah blah blah. There, something. Some retail. You did nothing, cabrón. Sorry.
Should have represented for niggas and ripped the motherfucking arms off like Jack.
And it was in front of his girl.
In front of his wife.
In front of his wife.
Crazy him. Nigga laughed that shit out.
So he had black supremacy trending. Black supremacy was the trending topic.
Now, I want to see what he's showing you is that LA, man, you say the wrong thing or you say the right thing, it can cost you. Prince told us this one night. He said, one thing about Hollywood, a black man get one chance to fuck up. And Prince told us that.
God damn, that was deep. That's life.
He said, Gipp, you ever go to Hollywood, black man only get one time to fuck up. And if you look at everybody right now,
Prince said that.
my partner went through it.
Okay.
And then we see Steve Harvey and back in the
We'll let that be Jerry. What's his name? Terry's excuse.
Interview he did with Monique,
right.
he was supposed to cut her head off. He ain't cut her head off, so they cut his head off. Now he back with her now.
But do you still think he gave her a shot though, like a chance to? Cause they still feel like
I
he
got
was
roll
like
some weed up.
they still felt like he was. They still felt like he was.
He went at her, but at the same time too, where he fucked up, he said, "No, Monique, you can't act like that. You can't do that, Monique.
Right.
If I ain't got no money, I take myself out there. I can. Well, hey man,
Right.
they still took you out.
Right.
You didn't do the job. One chance to fuck up.
Hey.
So think about it right now. Ted Cruz, I guess he's the last one left.
Nigga ain't no last one. I don't know what. I'm in Hollywood. Motherfucker ain't grab Hollywood. I fuck with everybody and I respect everybody. Don't tip on my neck.
They gonna know that. They gonna know that as soon as they hear you open your mouth. DC.
Hey, no, I ain't gonna lie. Hollywood still trying.
They'll try you. They'll try you. I mean, I ain't gonna tell you no lie, man. One time I got flew to LA. They said, "Gipp, they want you to be in the movie." I said, "Okay." They said, "I got there." I said, "Well, shit, we gonna go." They said, "No, we gonna take you to the man's house." I got to the man's house over there in Barham.
Hold it.
Man came out. He said, "But shit, Gipp."
Listen. Terry, this is going to evolve, this situation. And he's going to come out.
What, the closet?
And, or if he doesn't, we'll give him that. But he already is married to a white girl, ain't he?
I think, question mark?
Yeah, yeah, okay. So now, he's already in the fucked up zone with a lot of black women. Just on GP, right?
Yep.
For those who like that type, I guess. Ugh. Anyway. They got Red Fox before he died. He was a black father on television, right? Now we know they cremated basically Bill Cosby, right? Terry Crews is a father on a black father on a very popular, iconic television show that's in syndication. And
he was on Everybody Hates Chris.
right. And that's Chris Rock's money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his story. But that's syndication. It's seen by a lot of black people, and a lot of black people can relate to that story because that's like growing up in Brooklyn type shit, right? We know that father and that family, right? Another side of black life that's positive. You know? Funny. It's not the Cosbys, but they ain't on welfare. They're married, they're, you know, got a son and 2 girls, everybody goes to school, you know, regular father knows best type shit. Where father, you know, the jokes are on dad most of the time. It's a good enough, you know. It's a good enough role model for some people. They want to tarnish that too. They want to tarnish that too. And he may be part of it, or may not be. But it's not about him really, it's about the image. Because now you got a little image in your head when you look at Bill Cosby, when you look at the Cosby Show. It's a little something, right? It's going to always be that little something, even though the lesson is a great lesson, right? Same type of thing. They want to be able to undermine every positive black male role model that families have. Oh, man. And some people falling for it. Steve Harvey, he was a teacher, right? That was who he was on the Steve Harvey Show. And they've been clowning him and using him because he's available. So who the fuck is even thinking about the Steve Harvey Show, which was a good show, right? But ain't nobody checking for that because of Steve Harvey. When we saw him coming out of Trump Tower, it's like, nah, really? Really? And they sent him after Monique, even though she has her own agenda. But he didn't have to, he could have corrected her without doing the, what do you call it? Even though that's not, it really is an insult, but it shouldn't be. But like, you know, shucking and jiving, you know? He was clowning for massa.
He was pandering.
Pandering, okay. That's the politically correct way of saying it. He was clowning and cooning. And there's a way to do it. You're trying to say, listen, sis, they ain't fair, but you know, you got bills to pay. And y'all can have that conversation, but I think the way he did it made him look like a little simpy. There's another black male iconic figure in the media that they have now tarnished. They're on a mission. The Wayans brothers is the only one that's left.
Yeah.
And he ain't fucking with them, I don't think.
I don't even know anymore.
But they'll find something. Kenan, the one that had the show with the girl that was on Martin, with Gina. That was his wife and the kids. Was it called My Wife and Kids?
Yeah.
That's a cute show.
It was Damon, I believe.
Damon, right. That's a nice show. I like that show. He's funny. He really is. And they're funny together.
At some point, you need to go pick
Let's
up something.
go.
So.
Thank you. Sorry, folks.
I love your personality and everything. Who you play, baby? I said, well, shit, man, goddamn. We got to start right there. I said, I ain't got nothing against nothing. All I'm saying is that I can't do certain things.
Right.
Because it's not in me. I'm a professional rapper. I'm not a professional actor. Now, see, if I was a professional actor, that's in my job description. But as me, I can't really do certain things. But it let me know off top that they were going to try and figure out my sexuality before they gave me a chance in doing what I do. Right. And I felt like that. But goddamn, but shit, that's the reason why I hadn't been in a lot of movies, because of the certain situations I got put in. And hey, man, your question was valid. You just asked me a question, and I answered you. But at the same time, too, I knew that my answer also closed the door for that opportunity. Right. That's all, you know. And you know, a lot of times, a lot of things that Gipp could have did. You know, I watched the success of everybody. That's why they didn't stand beside everybody while they had their success. But I just know us being the first and them first dudes in them early years, they were trying to try us instead of letting us do what Tretch was doing or what Pac was doing. They were trying to goddamn make us do something else. So it just made me shun away from that. You know what I mean? But I love it now though.
But see, that be the thing though. It don't really. You got to just know how to handle a situation. That's always the tone. You see what I'm saying? Like Hollywood don't matter, whatever perspective people got on Hollywood. If you ever get faced with some shit, you just got to know how to handle a situation. Not even with that. When it just come with business or anything period, or you feel like somebody disrespecting you business-wise, you got to know how to handle shit accordingly. Even we're gonna take it out from Hollywood. We're gonna shift it all the way back over here. That's just like even with this all this police officer shit. You feel what I'm saying? You got to know how to handle the situation accordingly because you already know what you're facing. Or if you do the wrong move, it can be the last.
But see, that's my thing with most brothers. You already know police don't fuck with them.
Right.
So why are we gonna go and be aggressive with them?
Right.
It just be tripping me out sometimes. I just be like, damn, like, we can get into it with the niggas and we can get there and talk ourselves out of it.
Right.
But then when you get into it with police, you know he got a pistol.
He ready.
You know he ready. And you still gonna buck that shit, bro. You just want problems today.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I feel like if we was a lot smarter in the way we handle ourselves, especially dealing with authority. What I figured out is a lot of young kids just have never had authority in their life.
Yes.
Never, in no kind of way.
No kind of
So when they get grown and they get out here and have to deal with the real world, it's almost like they Neanderthals.
Did you see that police chief, the commissioner or chief or whatever, talking about he want them to stop treating police like animals and shit?
That nigga came out there like he was mad at hell. You seen them niggas?
We all read in the papers that in the black community, mothers are worried about their children getting home from school without being killed by a cop. What world are we living in? That doesn't happen. It does not happen.
Wow.
I am not Derek Chabon. They are not him. He killed someone. We didn't. We are restrained. And you know what? I'm saying this to all the cops here. Because you know what? Everybody's trying to shame us. The legislators, the press, everybody's trying to shame us into being embarrassed about our profession. Well, you know what? This isn't stained by someone in Minneapolis. It's still got a shine on it.
Can I just pause real quick? I just want to point out something. You notice how Brother Man back there put his head down and he said that doesn't happen?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure when they get back to base, they're going to notice that too, and he's going to be in trouble. Or he might have to just cuss them out off camera.
Mm-hmm.
So do theirs. So do theirs. Stop treating us like animals and thugs, and start treating us with some respect. That's what we're here today to say. We've been left out of the conversation. We've been vilified. It's disgusting.
But it was a kind of funny thing to watch. It was funny to watch because I'm like, well, damn, where the black cops at? They're supporting me.
Cause they wasn't there.
They was at work.
Them niggas was at
Somebody was on the street by that press conference going on. No, Johnson, Jackson, Mathis and Miller. Y'all still on
for real, real quick. I'm just saying this much. Those are the union presidents, union leaders of the law enforcement agencies around New York State and some in New Jersey and whoever's nearby in Connecticut, right? But the only point I'm going to say about that, they weren't officers, so you're not going to see a lot of black people, but these are the heads of the unions. So how many black heads of unions even are there when they want to go in and talk about the things that are important to us? And if you want to survive as a representative for your union among all of these people, you're going to have to start sounding like them too. Mm-hmm. Even though you know in your heart better, when you speak publicly, you got to do the slide with them. So let's keep that in mind. If they got 300 union leaders and there's only one black man in the crowd, okay. 2, that tells you something about what we're dealing with in New York State and New York City also. Because that was New York City and New York State. and Long Island, and you know, points nearby. But they said in New Jersey, the mayor in one of the towns in New Jersey did exactly what Black Lives Matter movement is talking about. He dismantled his police department and started again from the ground up. But one thing didn't switch until the other thing was ready to open. And officers from the previous police department were given the option to become police in the new, and only 100 of them did, but they're all in the union. They're still in the union. But 100 of them chose to be retrained and to work in the community. And that was, it's somewhere in New Jersey, it's not far. Maybe Mercer County. But he did it, and it's like the example took about 5 years. But everything has gone down in their communities. And it was a mostly black community. So they need to tap into him. Go back. But just. It's hard out there.
I mean, New York right now is just, they on some LA shit.
Lordy.
Man, New York.
Them ain't even real police. Do you see them police be out there, man? Some motherfuckers, security in the way.
Yeah.
Them niggas that be out there. Hey, wait a minute, hold up. No, just run fast. Get I got the bag.
And that's true. But at the same time, too, you got to look at New York right now. I would be so afraid to stay in New York City. First thing I thought about was, if y'all ain't never seen this movie called Escape from New York.
Yeah, and Escape from LA with Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Snake Plissken.
Just think about it. Like, if something really happened in New York, all they got to do is shut that Highland Tunnel off and that Brooklyn Bridge.
And they stuck there.
And you fuck.
Can't even get off that motherfucker. It's
So
an
for
island.
me,
You can't get out the bridge.
You can't get off.
Half of them can't swim out of that water. Look, that shit's so dirty.
You can't get out the state. You just in New York.
yeah.
That shit so. You ever seen that water? Right about the curve.
What I'm hearing now, like I just got a call and they just said, man, we walking up in the platinum. I said, I guess the city back home. Shit, what's going on?
Yeah, niggas in the club in hookah.
Day party. Smoking hookah with
Any
each
nigga
other.
smoking hookah, man, you a suspect.
Do the mask.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Any nigga smoking on hookah is a suspect.
Nigga smoke. I seen
Any
niggas
nigga do
smoking
that.
hookah with the mask on, man.
Yeah, but one thing I be trying to ask people like, damn, before you took that hookah, did you check the water?
You know, niggas be out there like this.
Before you took that hookah.
That shit bubble, he be like,
Yeah. And the water probably black.
they be calling the waiter. What that little shit they be burning? It be going out.
The coal.
The coal. When that shit go out, them niggas get heated. Them niggas act like some crackhead. Hold up. Boom this shit.
And I'm like, one night, I was asking Sean, I was like, what is that? She was like, that hookah.
I be like, bruh, stop hitting the goddamn hookah like that.
You know who think he the coldest nigga in the club? The nigga who swear he can fix. I can fix it. I fix the hookah. I got it. That motherfucker hitting there. Smoke. His head name.
They hold their little tip too. They take it out and be like,
Yeah, I saw that
they
one
be
night.
holding that shit.
I was like, wait a minute, everybody got their own personal tip.
Yep.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm so bad.
I got blood, man. I don't want no hookah, bro.
I know. I seen a nigga standing in the line with a hookah tip behind his ear. I was like, that nigga play too goddamn much. That nigga play too goddamn much, man. It was yellow. And I can tell you, he had it for a minute. It was a long one, you know what I'm saying? They done switched them by now. Like, that nigga been taking that tip everywhere. That defeat the purpose.
That's so tired of them. And them hookah cost more than them bottles. You could have bought an annual hookah, nigga. I'm like, ooh, you spit so good.
Do you think Keisha gonna be a good vice president if they pick us?
Hell yeah.
Keisha.
They stressing Keisha the fuck out right now, though.
Yeah, the people was out right in front of our house with the bullhorn today.
Canada this morning, protesters gathered outside the home of Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. About 10 people showed up to picket outside her home, including a woman who raised issues with the nightly curfew while protesting near Centennial Park last night. The group left after about 30 minutes.
Yeah, you closing your blinds because you don't want to face us. You don't want your children to know how you sold them out. Because your boys ain't as
She's closing the blinds.
This white man, yo, George is not a simp at all.
Why? Saying what?
They was up there yesterday too.
Saying what?
Ooh. They're cussing at her and everything outside our house.
But the thing is,
Keisha, we found your house. We Googled you.
right? They talking bullshit too. They been out there a couple of days. Bitch, how much your parents cost, Keisha?
Oh, they just fucking with
fucking
her. They just going out
They
there.
ain't really even, they ain't even got no agenda. Like, who do your hair? Like, come on, man. This the fucking mayor. She got shit to do. You know who else a cold ass
She
little
needs
mayor?
security.
Chicago mayor, little Lori Lightfoot. With the little afro, she be wearing them big ass suits.
I wonder what her husband look like.
Oh, her husband is a big tall white lady.
Yeah.
But you would think but she got, yeah.
The man got
She the
white.
woman in her relationship.
I like it.
Hell no.
Yeah. They be
Go with me
laying
downside.
I like it.
two tough ass bras. They laying in the bed like two deep batteries.
That lets you know, man, there's always somebody for somebody.
Hell yeah. And
We in the bill with downside.
Hey man, stop playing with them folks.
I was just playing.
She went off on somebody.
Playing. This is Corona.
She told somebody they were full of shit on the press conference call the other day. I fuck with little Lori Lightfoot. I don't know what her politics are. I like her personality.
Nah, as long as Georgia get in this cannabis game, I think Georgia gonna be alright. Georgia gonna get in this cannabis game in this gambling game.
When do you think we're gonna get the weed? Cause I keep smelling it like I feel like the day we gonna get legal, they gotta let a lot of people free.
Like
they gotta clean my record.
We might have to take the agriculture
They gotta
route.
clean mine up. The moment they get legal down here, they gotta clean records.
Well,
I got to this shit right next to the beaches.
They gonna drop the actual applications to get into it at the end of the month.
I'm gonna try to get me one. I'm gonna
You should. Everybody, even if you just get you a small license, because I mean, this is one generational wealth, and they're not gonna get these licenses out no more. They just like alcohol.
What you talking about?
The weed permits and shit.
Cannabis license.
Oh, but you know how much they cost, though?
How much?
Arm and a leg and 2 toes.
Yeah.
How much though?
Yeah. But see, shit, you gonna make that back. But see, I'm gonna tell you this. This is the biggest mistake that I see in Atlanta.
Talk your shit, OG.
Some of us do got paper, man, and that's cool with having paper. But just cause you got paper don't mean you're gonna be respected in all rooms.
Dog.
Ooh, can't buy that.
You know what I mean? So one thing I learned about it is like they're not gonna let nobody involved in certain businesses unless you went and did the footwork for it.
Right.
And that's one thing that I think some of the guys and some of us as young entrepreneurs gotta understand it. In the capital, they don't care how many records you sold or who you is. You gotta understand policy. You know what I mean? So I think me going to LA and really going and learning how to do it from growing and this and that and everything I had to do, I'm trying to learn everything so I can be able to say, hey man, I'm not just coming in here as a face for Georgia. I can bring some of the best from LA in here to make sure that we got the best weed. Because, we don't really know how weed gonna grow in Atlanta. It's a lot of,
The atmosphere different. The atmosphere really
Different
different.
water.
If you want to go from climate change different than the LA
Different
shit.
water, different
You know what I'm
climate.
saying? I forgot what
Different
climate
bees.
is. I have to ask somebody overseas.
Maybe
They
that'll
know
help
for
the
sure.
bees come back
You
over
know,
from
they not about the
marijuana
water. No,
farms.
that shit dry.
you know what I mean?
So when we grow up, I think
Well,
about it
that
in
could be an
Denver,
excuse.
different altitude, they grow it up there. I know everybody be like, Denver, I'm sorry, Denver.
Well, listen here,
Weed
buddy.
trash.
I got the
That weed
solution
is
already.
ass.
We gonna grow the weed up in Bartow County up there by Lake Allatoona.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Up in
that
Cherokee
weed, that shit gonna be
County.
like mid. Anyway, if nigga growing weed by the lake, I don't want it.
Shit.
That shit is dirty.
And we're gonna have to really, everybody been asking like, how much you gonna cost for real? I'm like, man, you gonna have to have a real operation. It's gonna be 30 million.
Shut.
30 million.
You think I'ma just stick to the streets, my nigga?
It's gonna be 30 million for
You need a greenhouse and all that other stuff. You have to. It ain't just growing in the ground like cotton.
That's what it's
You can't stop a nigga from selling weed legally. Oh my goodness. If they do that, if a nigga can do that, it's like, I'm gonna be like, look, I said I'd never do it illegally. But if a nigga can do it legally,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah.
That's my new
Oh,
job.
about to fuck the game up.
Because they feel like Atlanta it's gonna be bigger than California.
Maybe you can do it in.
You said Atlanta gonna be bigger than California?
Right.
On the weed side.
Cause we got more land.
Land is fertile.
For it growing, I don't think the product. I hope we can get that product. But woo, if you're smoking and you really do the logistics.
That's why we gotta go back down there and claim our land.
California, man, it's just when you smoke it, it's so a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just getting high.
Yeah,
you enjoy life.
You can ride that highway and look at the ocean and shit.
You start to figure out shit like, you know what, I'm finna go get me some Roscoe.
But see, when you smoking and drugs, you start thinking about shit that goddamn like
that shit
depressing.
depressing.
You be like, hey, it is dark and fuck down 166 though.
It dark and fuck.
Nah, it's some real shit, my nigga. You cut your headlights off, my nigga. You real though.
You be at the Waffle House quiet than a motherfucker, then all of a sudden niggas say something like, hey, bro, when Fabo said he seen your spaceship on Bankhead, I believe him, my nigga.
That one weed. I can tell you that right now. That's my dog. That's what we got to get on that motherfucker. That ain't crazy.
But I'm gonna tell you, I think Atlanta is gonna turn into another. Know this: if you're trying to get in business, get you a business from the stadium all the way back to Hateville. They about to spend $700 million.
All the way back to Hateville.
From Fulton County Stadium.
What they finna build though, Gipp? They got $700 million. What they building?
They about to build a whole nother Atlanta, just like how over there in Carter County.
Then I did with that arena.
They about to do the same thing over here. Down 75, they're gonna have a 12, and they build a new racetrack that's gonna run horses and dogs, and they're gonna have a Six Flags out there.
They got mad at Vic for finding the dog. Now they gonna run.
That man been the
they got too much money in it. They know they can't wrestle the airport away from black people.
Yeah, they were trying to do this.
What's he say?
They've been trying to wrestle the airport away from black people. So since they can't get it, they're gonna go ahead and open gambling and cannabis.
Some shit around it.
That's right. So right now, if you're thinking about small business right now, anything small from here, from that Fulton County Stadium, from that left side all the way through East Point to Hateville. See, they got that Porsche dealership sitting out there with that racetrack, and they got a whole bunch of bullshit around it. They got to build that shit up. So in a minute, that shit gonna look like Brooklyn on that side of Atlanta, all the way going to Hateville. So right now, your mind should be about how many slots and how many businesses can I start? Because it's a major wealth about to come here. And if you still thinking on some small shit, everybody in music, man, music like an old girlfriend we've been having. Everybody moved on from that. That's the small game now. Right. Y'all in the fresh game. I keep telling that right now, the TV game is where it's at. Y'all look, I mean, that dude doing that over there, Tyler doing that, that's just amazing. It's like, you understand, his studio bigger than everything put together in LA.
Everything.
They ain't said, but they mad. Mad as a mother.
Mad. Bitch!
They mad. You know what I mean? So it's like understanding the power that we have right now, that we all can be moguls in 20 years because we're ahead of the curve and we can see it coming.
And we really got the mindset to do it if we want to do it.
Right. Because when I look down, when you look at places like LA, you be like, man, there's too many broke people here for all that money that came through them.
Tell them why Georgia is the perfect landscape, though. Cause I follow you on Instagram. You talk about it all the time. Like, why is Georgia ready for all of this money that's about to come in? And why is it the perfect spot for it to be? You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're in the middle of everything. From Florida to the north to the west. On this side, we LA. We just not getting to that level.
Right.
You know what I mean? LA been blowed up. You know what I mean? So for us, like, I just think that we just not getting started. Where other cities have already really had their apex as far as commercial business. You know? And that's what, right now, as long as us young guys really understand the power that we can really have. See, by the time we 50, 60, it's like we control the city. We really control a real piece of the block, and we just ain't standing in this moment. Because a lot of people in LA, you might be rich, but you still surrounded by a whole bunch of people that don't look like you. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then they overcharge you.
Right.
They charge you for the sunshine. They don't even own it.
What advice would you give a young nigga who got some
I'm right here now, like, oh. That same time.
I gotta ask for the audience. What advice would you give a young niggas who watching, who got some money, who don't know what to do with it? It's a few of them. They always hit me like, bro, what should I do? I'm like, nigga, I don't know. I don't know how you got your paper. I can't tell you to go start some shit with all this dirty money.
She hit me with the LLC.
I would say right now, find a cannabis school and go to.
Find a cannabis school?
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, they got a cannabis school, nigga. And they told, and I got a lot of them bringing weed to school.
Don't nobody owe you shit.
But they owe me a free scholarship, nigga. Fuck you, somebody.
I see where you going,
You get what I'm saying?
No,
No.
like they gonna hit you, like, you know you eligible for the scholarship.
Nigga, you sent me to the alternative school, but you just sent me to the cannabis school. You knew exactly what I was trying to do.
Okay, you imagine being in weed school and you feeling like you're in regular school, like, nigga, I can't remember, is it the indica? Man, I can't, is it the hybrid? I gotta make some flash cards.
Feeling like a bitch.
Kush, Perk, Pro, indica sativa, my great grandma bought. I can't, man.
I definitely would have failed. I was like, nigga, this it. I don't know. It's mama.
Hey, Mom, I got a C in weed.
Oh, gee.
I say this though.
Pay
Pay attention to what's moving and what's not. Pay attention to what's moving and what's not.
I feel like when they threw that title, essential workers out there, that split the game up.
If you only got essential skills, you only gonna make essential money.
Right.
Right.
You know, I think what we gotta learn is that we ain't never too old to learn it. Even if we successful in whatever we successful in, we gotta learn how to take an hour out of the day to try and go learn some shit we don't know shit about.
Talk good shit.
Made that nigga choke on that weed. That mean that nigga done thought about that shit before, but talked himself out of it. That shit ain't never. That shit spoke to my spirit. I knew I should have started playing that goddamn piano.
Confirmation.
I saw you, nigga. Start doing some shit you don't know how to do, nigga. Try to be good at every goddamn thing. Nigga scared to learn. On the comfort zone there, nigga.
Stop, no. That nigga got a big ass gun, man. That nigga crazy.
I know. When you get
Nigga crazy, man.
No, when the nigga say.
He don't know how to joke, man.
He don't. I'm leaving alone.
He don't know how to joke, man. I tell nigga laugh all the time. Laugh, man. No, I ain't
I want to ask y'all a question though. Like, from the first time I did y'all show to when I seen y'all on stage taking the actual show on stage, what did it feel like going from this situation to a stage with what y'all were doing? Because I know y'all didn't kind of plan that. It was kind of like it was the flow.
Right.
That took it there. It was like, shit, this shit bigger than just sitting here. And y'all winded up on the stage and then winded up with seeing the crowd come. Like, how did that make y'all feel? Because I know that y'all didn't know how far y'all reached.
Right.
Damn, so then I'd rather hear it up.
And he'll tell you, like, right before, like when we did our last show before they shut all this shit down, it's just like, I ain't never get used to that. Like, you know, it ain't never became typical because it's like, it seemed like every show would just get bigger and bigger and bigger. It was 4,000, 6,000, 8,000. Tickets sold out 6 months in advance, and it's just like sitting here, giving these people our perspective and making them laugh and acknowledging them, made them come fuck with us, drive 6 hours, fly across the country. Like,
they fly.
Sell out shows everywhere. That's fucking amazing.
People all over
like,
the world.
Ain't no comedians.
Very demographic.
In our lane, that's, you know what I mean, that made a platform like this, was doing it like that. Is doing it like that. So it was just always amazing to me, just to go see, get love like that, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't just like, shit, that one show we had, you remember we sold that bitch out, and all the motherfuckers sold out. So that's the fucking dopest shit I ever been a part of.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm proud of y'all.
I appreciate it.
I'm proud of y'all.
And I got to the point where it was just like, it made me respect the people. I started like wondering what type of people we bringing out. You feel what I'm saying? Like, who am I touching? You feel what I'm saying? Because you still got a brand. You know how you know exactly who you bringing out. So just be gonna bring out the you know what I'm saying? Like, but nigga, when we have a show, bro, I be like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, like, people be pulling up on us in wheelchairs and shit, be like, jump on. You like, what the? I ain't never seen no shit like that, but bitch, I'm in a ride. You dig what I'm saying? So it like, man, you touch, it's just like people who feel like they never had a voice. But they understand and they need that voice, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that they can live through. You feel me? Like, I just love seeing that. That's probably the most biggest, and plus, working with my brothers, that's love. We do this so much, I don't even be tripping on that. I ain't got to say shit, really. I can watch them niggas. But it's like, when I'm in tune with them fans, man, and they allow us to create, man, it just, that probably be the best thing, because we improv. You gotta understand, comedy, you got jokes and shit. Like, you gonna stay by yourself, you got jokes. But we gonna stay, bro. We literally be like this. Say our prayer. You know what I mean? Cat dog say our name. And we going out there like this here. What? And whatever they say, we bounce out that shit and we go crazy.
Yep. I watched it, man. We very much discussed y'all and see y'all. Well, we was on the road, and Lo was always like impressed, like, man, they practice that shit. And I'm like, man, they can't practice that shit. Like, you can't pull up the show and they do the same shit. So just to watch y'all do that, like, it's amazing.
Yeah. Appreciate it,
It's just dope to be able to have a platform as big as this to be able to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we know how hard it is to be a fan of anybody at this point. Because you know, all the entertainment is so come and go. So
that's how I look at the music business right now. It just look like don't nobody still get number one no more. They still, it's like nigga be number one for an hour. Then
shit, it seems like everybody be number one at the same goddamn time though.
Shit, that cool though. I don't mind being number one with a motherfucker. Shit, as long as I made it, I'm like, shit, we tied. Oh, what we done? But hey, we did. Shit, we won. Share that motherfucker together. Let go. You put my hand gonna be on top though. Let it.
But what I would want for young artists right now, man, I would want the music to reflect what we live in. I mean, like, this is the most crazy shit I ever seen. It's never happened in history where music didn't reflect what was going on in society.
Right. And we always use music for an outlet to tell it. You feel me? Go listen to that Sam Cooke. That's all he talked about. I'm like, but dude, he wasn't singing the slaves.
Now that nigga was going through that shit.
He was going through that shit.
You know how he wrote "The Change Gonna Come"?
Huh.
They wouldn't let him get a hotel room.
For real.
Yep.
It's Blues Mine Part 3.
Damn.
Black History Facts here at the 85 South Show. Welcome back. I am your host, Karlous. My nigga DC Black. We are in here kicking scientific knowledge with my nigga Big Gipp.
I don't think that 2020.
But hey, man, we been in the studio, man. We gonna give y'all an album in just a minute.
What's the name of it?
We got to be on that motherfucker. Just saying.
Yes, okay, going to.
We won't tell no name yet. We ain't decided, but I just know that we got the actual
and not being able to stay in certain hotel rooms.
You got the single? I seen you drop. You just dropped something.
Yeah, I did something with so far.
They made it sound like a joke.
What's it called?
Time is Right.
Time is Right. Video and all that, and the remix on the way.
But nigga ignore you, that was a polite no, you feel me? We know we gonna fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? This is not fucking with you, but this is not fucking.
He ain't gonna let you on the album.
He ain't gonna let me on the album,
Oh, DC.
Yeah, he said you gotta get on the album.
I don't want to talk shit, I don't want to talk.
I'm right, shit, now I call you tomorrow, now we going in today.
Alright, we going in tonight, though.
They won't be mad.
Let go. Well, let me on the demo, let go. We ain't creeping in the window. Be that guy, I thought what you mean? Well, I'm in the window. They open up. They do shit.
That's how the album come on.
in the window. Open it up. Nigga, cold outside.
I'm gonna put that in the game, Mom.
You fucking right.
Alright.
They're lit. Y'all heard him.
I'm gonna take me. But I mean, like, shit.
Sometimes
I'm getting ready to
it
get
sounds
back out here. I
like
want the word of them.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time keeping it. I know it's
Keep dropping
accents.
these regular, man. I did a record with Blanco Brown, man. And people don't
I was
know
going
we
to
got
say,
a world
he
class,
talks
the number
like
one country
the
music singer
people that
right
Carlos
now.
impress, like the
His
impressions
name
of.
Bronco Brown.
Blanco Brown.
Like his impressions
Blanco
of
Brown.
some
Number
people
one country.
sounds just like that guy.
Being on rap. We like
I
this.
understand
Not
what
doing
you're
the shit
saying.
behind
It's
us
DC
and just
or
accumulate
How
paper.
do you link up with the number one country singer?
But
They reach out to you. Most of the time.
Most time I reach out there and say, man,
Could
good
they be
job."
fans?
I seen dude, and I'm like, first of all, I know Nashville. And for him to be able to go to Nashville, have an actual album, put his own record out, sell 2 million records in Australia, all over the world, that's big. How many black country music singers you know about? So for him to be from Bankhead, the boy from Bankhead,
Wait, from Bankhead? Who?
Blanco Brown,
Blanco Brown from Bankhead. Got a
And
country
you-
song and went number one with it.
17 weeks.
What the fuck he say? What he say? What did he do?
Just talking like how
Oh,
the
the
brown
two-step
folks
jump.
talk.
Oh, okay.
Hold up, which one?
They got the dance.
Oh, I did hear that.
Oh, it's
Damn, I
okay.
got to give me one.
Yeah, I didn't know it was
Fuck you,
Bankhead.
man. I said, fuck you, man. Bring that ass here, girl. You got to bring that ass here. Oh, you mean?
Oh yeah.
What?
His debut single, "To Get Up," over 50 million streams, cracked the Billboard top 20. That's from the 85 South Show.
Talk your
Research
shit, Blanco.
Department.
West Side, nigga.
We got to get him up
Fuck you, man.
That'll be wrong.
They got to do it. Do he do the little dang like that?
And the dance hard as hell, too.
Uh,
You ain't seen the dance?
hell no.
The cowboy boogie, the two-step.
I
It's
gotta
a
look
lot of
that up.
It's a lot of names. That shit hard.
What you call that shit when they be singing when it ain't yodeling though? They be like, fuck you, man. You know the country nigga, they be doing that shit sometimes, bro.
That's yodeling.
No, that ain't yodeling shit. Oh, okay, yeah. Fuck you,
Topaz.
it's not really
Topaz.
yodeling, but it is.
And then I did that peace song with ATL Top 20 with a whole bunch of artists. We just
But
did
that's
a
a
video
different
for
type of
that.
country.
I just did a video with Corrupt called Gangster. I'm shooting a
Bluegrass.
video Saturday with Cam called Race War, him and David Banner.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to Valley.
My slide
At
up.
Washington High School.
I slide up on y'all.
You know what I mean? So, like, I'm just working, man. I'm happy the quarantine that it happened because it just made all us come back home, have to resituate, regroup, and figure out what's going on. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. We was this close to doing the Dungeon Family album with all of us, but then 3000 had to go do another TV show, so I was like,
Damn. Don't worry about it.
we just wait for if that come through, then I'd be ready to go and do a world tour with Outkast, then I'd be like, ready to sit on down, man.
That shit be crazy.
Oh,
You
it's
think we'll
related to
ever
our
get
baby
another
son?
Outkast album?
In some way, yeah.
Oh.
He talking more.
What's wrong, man? Y'all explain that shit, man. Come on, man. The world want to know what it is. All right.
Man,
Keep
we
it discreet.
need that, man.
Keep it discreet, but we want to know.
Man, that man been platinum since he 18 years old. He has sold more records than most people. He produced the biggest record ever that sold 10 million records. He stayed number one for 10, 12, 15 weeks with Hey Y'all Overseas. He has seen everything you can see. He performed at Coachella. He had Prince right there, got LA right there, everybody in the industry right. He did it. And then he don't like the attention. You know what I mean?
People don't understand that shit.
You know what I mean?
Trained.
Tell the nigga we won't look at him then.
We ain't gonna hear.
Don't look at the nigga. He gonna leave again.
Oh, have mercy.
Don't ask for them. We gonna do one big group.
Stop looking, Los.
Nigga, stop. Just turn your back and listen. This nigga's amazing, but I can't look over.
Right, don't
What
get
if they put
Nigga always saying for fun, hands off. Don't want you to look at it. Hey, y'all.
Yeah, he just, and he be
And
right
him
here. He
and,
be right
look
here,
at-
slide in and out of town.
No, man, you might see it.
Damn, I want
They
Andre
had,
to go
they had a
crazy.
video of a
man.
nigga playing the flute at the airport for about 6 hours.
I mean, man, we sent him a song.
Even
He
that,
like, you gonna
the two
get
of
on?
them
He said,
together,
I play the
amazing.
flute. I was like, shit.
And you think being ignored is cold? You send a nigga a song and he said he gonna play the flute.
You don't know nothing about this nigga flute skill. You never even seen this nigga on the flute.
Oh, gee, damn. Hey, man, Andre, man. That's fucked up, man. The flute, man. Niggas said, I'll play the flute. Damn, Drake. Hey, niggas don't understand, bro. That attention, but back then, that attention, it was probably like times 20. I don't know. Then
it was like he turned into from a rapper to Lenny Kravitz. Right. At that time. Where it was so big and so crazy that Grammy was there, it was just like, man.
Please, I just want to make music. Please,
Ain't nobody tell a nigga to be that goddamn good.
Some people that be that talented and just be like, I just want to do my job. That's it.
That nigga's amazing.
Remember though, D'Angelo was the same way.
Right. He kind of
subtle. After he did the naked video,
it was rap.
Rap. You couldn't take it no more.
I mean, once you get naked, what else do you know? That's what I be telling motherfuckers.
We brave, motherfucker.
That's the big joker. You get shit you can do after you done got butt ass naked.
Shout out that big joker.
That's your big joker. Them niggas seen you butt naked.
But think about it, Sade the same way. And she been there with it.
Sade the best. Listen, baby, I listen to you all day.
Bro. That's one of them ones when I listen to her music. I swear she talking about our relationship. I'm the nigga. And all that shit personal between me and her. It only
Sade like that cool you can cheat with.
Who made me feel like that? Ari Lennox. Like every time I hear her, I feel like she just sang about us. She mad a little bit, but then by the time the song go off, we back together. That's why I can listen to the whole album, cause we break up like in the middle of every song, but we straight by the time this shit go off. I know, I gotta stop getting high, cause this is where I'm at in life at this point. I'll be projecting myself and shit that ain't got. I don't even know.
He's having R&B relationship?
No. The world ain't opened back up yet.
Okay.
Look at Marvin Gaye looking at me. Nigga, you lying. You know you want one of them singing ass girls.
He did not want to take that picture. I don't know who the fuck took that.
Man, Marvin Gaye, that picture was taken after a show.
Come on, hang that.
That's the Marvin Gaye face of disappointment, Gipp. We can't take that picture down.
I don't know who these niggas is right now.
Goddamn real cold though.
Still.
They put that goddamn
like a Nickelodeon cartoon.
Let me look at that wall.
Yeah, this shit play. Don't look at that one though.
Stephanie Mills and one of those pictures.
I don't know what the fuck that one is. That's supposed to be a Karlous, but that's a mechanic. Who the fuck this bad ass nigga? He a thief though. Don't trust him. That is not me. That is a thief. That's a pastor. You take money every time. I'm about to pass the connection plate.
Oh, there's Michelle Obama and other pictures.
Yeah, that's a slave.
That's Sojourner Truth. That's Sojourner Truth.
That's Sojourner Truth.
Angela Davis.
Who was this lady?
And Michelle Obama.
He called them.
What's Sojourner?
He called it slave. Yeah.
We got some more fans. All right, we're gonna rotate them out.
That's Sojourner beautiful.
We just been too high to switch them.
I ain't even know Barack had a mole. That nigga ain't got no mole.
He do though.
What?
But you know, Barack Obama would never let his headline be seen like that in public. We gonna get somebody to fill it in.
Bro, who the fuck is this lady, bro?
I just told you. Harriet Tubman, that's the one I meant to say.
Somebody said Sojourner Truth, so that was a slave. The fuck y'all make y'all see that? Y'all ain't gonna make me stupid.
No, that is Sojourner Truth.
That's Sojourner Truth?
That is. I was right. Shut up. Don't talk to me. That is Harriet Tubman.
That's a mean ass slave. That's just somebody
It's both of them.
That's a mean slave.
Look, 85 South Shore audience, y'all tell us.
They like, take a picture. She like,
that Harriet Tubman or that's Harriet Tubman. We gonna just leave it at Harriet Tubman.
No, it ain't. That is
I'll take the L for that.
That's a mean
but
slave.
But that's damn sure Angela Davis, and that's
Frederick Douglass with his ass slit.
Get the fuck out of here, DC.
Wait. What?
The L for
slave.
Look, 85 South Shore audience, y'all tell us.
They like, take a picture. She like,
that Harriet Tubman or that's Harriet Tubman. We gonna just leave it at Harriet Tubman.
No, it ain't. That is
I'll take the L for that.
That's a mean
but
slave.
But that's damn sure Angela Davis, and that's
Frederick Douglass with his ass slit.
Get Get the fuck out of here, DC.
Nigga Fred got his shit slick.
Oh, I gotta give a big shout out to Clayton English, man. He was protesting in LA, got trapped on the roof and got jammed up with them folks, but we got made sure our partner was straight. Big salute to South Carolina.
My boy Clay, why on the roof?
You can't do that. Man, trapped on the roof. Trapped on the roof. LA. Man, that's a very important location. Trying to bring y'all what I can. There was nowhere to go. They weren't letting people go nowhere. They didn't expect on this lady letting us come to her room.
What?
That's the John True.
And that shit was on
the roof.
Harry was bullshit.
They were on the roof.
What?
And they had to get out because of curfew.
They couldn't get out because of curfew.
I want to hear the knowledge from a queen who had power and who was like freeing motherfucker, bro. To hear stories, she ain't got time. Like everybody do selling pussy sense. Everybody do selling pussy incense. I'm like, man, Erica, you crazy,
That shit
man.
sold out too.
I know.
It's
Niggas
on
really
back
buying
order.
them bitches.
That shit sold out.
And I wonder if she using a real pussy scent, like if they gonna run out. Like if they come to like Erica.
Hey,
look.
we got, hey, bring your pussy.
Hey, fill a cup up. Come on now. We run it. We can't keep this pussy in stock.
Well,
Eric, I love Eric.
And one dude
Eric
had bought
OG.
some of those Eric about the pussy incense, and he was on YouTube eating them motherfuckers. I don't know that
He gonna
young
die.
man. I don't know
I
that
hope
young
not.
man.
He tripping. No, you don't. Nigga ain't eat no incense.
I don't know that young man. I wish him the best.
Damn, Harry, they talking about they gonna put your ass on a $2 bill. That's correct.
The 20.
Why?
So
Why
they
the
can make
dude?
people start saving money. You're not gonna be able to spend $20 if you look down at Harry Tubman looking up at you with that disappointing ass face. Harry on the $20 bill looking at you like, you don't need that shit. Put that shit back. Hey, can you make sure I don't get no 20s? Not because I'm racist. I just don't like feeling guilty. I don't win when I spend my money. You got a pocket full of hair and she don't even like you.
No,
Ain't how you check the motherfucker out.
racist Andrew Jackson was
Dude,
going
I
in
swear
now.
to
They
God,
want to
I'm
get
not
rid of his
racist.
ass.
But I had a hair Tubman 20 and I just kept hearing somebody call me a cracker, bro. I swear to God.
I was telling say that. What if you a racist? Don't you touch me. Get your cracker hands off me.
And that balance should have been in circulation.
You see a white man pulling up a hair 20. Hey, bro, hey, I'm throwing that money, man. I'm throwing that strong black woman like
That's
that.
what
Put it
they
in your
should
pocket.
do.
Bro.
That's
What
what
does
they
that
should
symbolize,
do.
man?
I go every time you put
$20
the $20 in your pocket, all of a sudden you just see the $20 on the floor. That motherfucker keep coming
That's
out
what they
your
do.
The money starts spending itself on what it want to buy.
Just start seeing the $20 pop up.
Look, I don't want to buy that. You can't tell me what to do with myself.
Spin me! Spin me!
I know what I want. I don't need no man for nothing.
Oh, well, Harry had the Louis Vuitton on.
you don't be got that racial stuff.
Nah, I don't be racing, man.
I'm not playing
I
with
don't
that.
race.
They better
Nah,
not
my
have
racing
Harriet
is-
in those Louis
Yeah, that
Vuitton.
Louis on what?
I don't do no racing.
She
Not
freeing
no more.
niggas in style.
You tearing up too much shit racing.
Ooh, I could live back then. I
That
would
shit
have been
get
the
expensive.
angriest
Especially if you're
nigga.
winning.
I would have been an angry ass person. In the 1800s, I would have been so angry. Don't
You
fucking
angry
hit me and
now.
I ain't did shit. I ain't even lying. I would have been angry.
I'm telling you. Them
Y'all don't want to kill Master. Oh, shit.
Hey, DC, you remember we was talking about they need to come up with a number for the reparations?
How much?
Now
It's
they
too
done
damn
came
much,
up-
bro,
now
because
they
they did the
came up with
1%
a
rule.
number.
What
Give me
number?
the exact number.
That's 325.
That 1% rule fucked it up. It's too damn much.
$14.7 trillion.
We all get what, 200
$350,000.
Yeah, 300.
We all get 350,000. Y'all really think
That's
that's
all
enough?
allegedly hypothetical.
350,000 is enough for reparation.
No.
It ain't enough.
But it is if everybody is.
Don't just give it to me straight up. I just wanted it like payment increments. $2,500 a month.
No tax. They gonna tax it.
$350. $350,000. That ain't nothing. Nothing on slavery. They talking about shit 400 years. $350,000.
What if you had to?
That's how I hear that thing. Like, how much money we get?
$325,000.
Somebody gonna do a seance and then bring
Can't give us $400 million.
bring up all the slave souls, and the slaves gonna be like, take the goddamn money. You better take that goddamn money. I worked too goddamn hard for this family. For you to, that ain't enough. You ain't getting
Goddamn shit.
goddamn work.
Take it.
Take the goddamn money.
Take it. They're gonna start singing old spirituals.
Take it. Take it. You better take it. Take it.
Take it.
Take the money.
Take it, you stupid niggas. Take it.
What? $300, girl? Do you know what you can do? $325. You better stop it now. That's wrong. Negroes today.
How do you think she'll react to what's going on today?
Never bring up that shit again.
I don't know. She might have
You go more waste time after this. I'm telling you. If you take the money, you gotta be American. You gotta salute the flag and you gotta be patriotic. Goddamn.
No more race.
There's no more goddamn race. You don't have any more excuses.
Oh wait,
goddamn.
no, wait.
You better take it. Take it.
Take it.
Take the money.
Take it, you stupid niggas. Take it.
They gonna take it.
Yeah, they gonna take it.
Ain't nobody been back to work yet.
Shit, no.
But that's like
It's gonna be
salary.
white people. There's gonna be some terms and conditions.
Look, if you accept the money, you can never bring up that shit again.
Fix the laws, right?
There is no more waste time after this. I'm telling you.
We don't get to
If you take
raise
the
money
money,
like
you
it's
gotta
big
be
flags
American. You
for
gotta
100
salute
years
the
like
flag and you
South
gotta be patriotic. Goddamn.
No more race.
There's no more goddamn race. You don't have any more excuses, goddamn it. I want to see you at work bright and early at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Where the fuck I get a job? We all work in America, goddamn it. Everybody has a job. Find you somewhere to go at 6. You gotta find a fucking job. You gotta make a job. You better be proud of your goddamn country when you get there.
What about the broke white people though?
Man, they fuck around and hand out the reparations. You gonna see the most patriotic niggas. Boy, you know niggas overdo everything, bro. If niggas really love this country, nigga patriots. When that shit go, nigga, 4th of July come through, your auntie got red, white, and blue fingernails, big ass Mark Simpson, red, white, and blue
That
hairstyle.
shit still ain't gonna do
All the box Chevys passing by painted like the American flag, nigga.
Niggas still ain't gonna be rocking with the flag like that.
Shit, nigga
Fuck
be
that.
patriotic than a motherfucker.
Nigga gonna move if they smart.
Hey, cuz, be quiet, bro. We finna salute the flag. I fought that flag, boy. On everything, bro. I die about this American shit, bro.
How the anthem go? How the anthem go? How the anthem go?
The nigga gonna be singing along with him. Oh, say what you sing before we get dark. We're so proud we said when we trapped lights was gleaming. Who bright stripes then bought Chevy? Don't these niggas don't wanna fight.
That nigga retarded, bro.
This my favorite part right here. And the rocket red cloud. Hey, got that on me too. Keep that goddamn rocket. Nigga ain't fucking with that red cloud.
That nigga is stupid, bro.
Keep that motherfucker on me. Fuck with America, you want to, old ass nigga. Oh shit, man. Well, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Just let him fucking
We're gonna do this shit all day.
You just lit one of the things on fire.
What are you doing, bro?
I know I see what they're gonna do.
He's lighting one of the things on fire with a
You thought the
candle.
shit was gonna light like a birthday candle.
Nah, I want the other shit.
Is it a firecracker?
No, he was running one of the talkie snacks.
Come on, OG.
Man,
Some knowledge.
All I say is, believe yourself. Don't believe nothing you don't understand. And wake up every day with a new plan. That's it.
Whole new plan.
A whole new plan, man.
Oh shit, that nigga just gonna drop that and walk off?
Yeah, damn.
That's how you gonna do?
How the show do? Oh, well,
I'm gonna, all right.
I'm gonna go bathroom, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, fuck it.
Yeah, man. That's how you end shit.
Oh, okay.
Goddamn, yeah.
Nigga wrote his own ending. I'm gonna say what I'm saying. Get the fuck out of here. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. This has been another episode of the 85 South Show. Coming to you live from the end of the world. DC, what you got to say before we go, man?
Shit, man, you already know what time it is. You did. Handle your baby Gipp. We ain't gonna trip. We ain't gonna slip. Nigga, we gonna flip. Yeah. Hey, put a motherfucking beat up on them little ass speakers. Put a beat up on them motherfucking little ass speakers.
Come on, man.
Put a beat up on them motherfucking little ass speakers. I'm a teacher. Oh, nigga, I'm a preacher. God damn. What happened? Oh, you added a little beat in there.
Hey, man, we gotta get this nigga some speakers, man.
We do. Come on, man. Somebody donate us some speaker, man.
Man, this nigga got the old speaker from the first Apple computer, man.
1990.